Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper. All right, Garfield, we are going to get into it today. This is the topic we're going to talk about is cooperation amongst union members.
Yeah, kind of a unity thing. We're not going to talk about specific like
Nope, nope,
contractual stuff.
nope,
Kind of a message we
nope.
want to get out there and talk to people.
Yeah,
Obviously Jeff and I have been pretty outspoken about, some contractual stuff we don't care for and things like that. But when it comes down to it, this is the contract we're under, so we all have to do our best to represent each other um, under
absolutely.
the agreement we've gotten to.
Yep,
So
yep,
people are going to disagree about that. People are going to disagree about politics, whether they be local politics or national politics.
yep.
But when it comes down to it, if I'm working next to you and I need your support, you need to be willing to give it. You don't need to be worried about what management's going to do,
Yep.
because for any action and management have, you have an answer for. If they want to retaliate against you, there's anti-retaliation language in this contract that you could use against them.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a witness, if a witness has been coming out, you don't necessarily need a steward if you're there. If you want to have somebody else witness you, give some information to a supervisor about something that's going on, or I'm going to take an option day this day, and you just walk in and tell them, have another one of your driver buddies there with you. So the next morning, or when you decide to take off and don't call anybody, you know they said, "Oh, well, it's a no call, no show. He didn't show up." I was like, "No, you've got a witness that says you told the supervisor that you were going to take an option day. Just because that supervisor's trying to cover his ass by because
Yeah,
he didn't communicate with his bosses, doesn't mean
yeah.
you should suffer for it." And that's just one of the more mild examples. But
Well, listen, I mean, let's be real about this. We're not all going to like each other,
no,
okay? That has zero to do with it,
no,
okay? Because what we do have in common, all of us, is that it's us against the company,
yeah,
you know? And I know myself and I know you, no matter who it is, you'll stick, but you might not like them, but you stick by them because we're union.
oh
That's
yeah,
it. I mean, we've proven that,
yeah,
no matter what, because they are not gonna, they're not gonna do whatever they want to someone just because I don't like them or whatever. No, 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 no. You're gonna have to go through me and everyone else too, the company,
yeah.
and I mean that because everything goes out the window when it comes to going against the company. Honestly, the any hard feelings I have for other, union members or we might not get along, that goes away right there. And we fight together, and I've done that for a long time. You've done that for a long time. And that's important. Everyone has to do that, no matter what. You can't just pick and choose. We're here to make our lives, as easy as possible when we come to work, and that means helping each other. And there's no, it can't be conditional. It can't be anything else. It's got to be okay. Let's work together. Whether it's you, your steward, your VA, you know, everyone's got to work together. They got to reciprocate. Everyone's got to reciprocate. And when we're talking shop, when we're talking about contractual stuff, when we're talking about company think they can do what they want, have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
We do. The other stuff is whatever, but this is very important. And I don't know, there are times that people can't get past that. I don't understand that to me is easy. I'm not going to let a brother or a sister go down because I might not like them. I'm going to work even harder. I'm going to say, no, you're not going to take these people out. There's no way. And I just want everyone to have that same mentality, no matter what. The other stuff, that's outside.
And
We do this together.
I want to reiterate something too, is like, the union as a whole, and I'm sure we've said this on here before, is it's only strong as its weakest member. And I get
Yeah.
that, for example, our local has about 11,000 members, and we see maybe 100, maybe 200 people at our meetings. Of course, we cover a wide area, and like we've talked about this before, it's difficult for some
Yeah.
people to make it up there, especially on Saturdays when they want to spend time with
Yeah.
their families.
Hmm.
But I would encourage each and every one of you to make an effort to at least show up to a couple of your union meetings. Talk to if you don't talk to your BA in the building, talk to them while you're there.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to your president and your e-board. Let them know, if there's issues that you can't solve, that if you're having issues that a steward doesn't know about and they're not there, or, your BA can't answer the question or whatever, you can get answers to those questions. Somebody knows what the answers to those questions. You just have to be willing to put forth the effort and the time to go get them.
Yeah.
And, that's up to all of us. Like, I can't force anybody to go. And I'm pretty sure pretty much every state represented in the southern region is right to work, isn't it? It's got to be all of them. A lot of people will make the right to work state up to be in kind of an excuse as to why the union isn't as strong as it should be.
No.
And right to work legislation, while it sucks, all it does is prevent unions from forcing people to join the union when they join
Yeah.
a union shop like UPS. And like,
Yeah.
largely my building is largely unionized. Most of the buildings I feel like are largely unionized in our district. Um, but that doesn't prevent you from acting like a union. That doesn't prevent any of your bargaining. That doesn't prevent any of the way you can attack the company as a union and hold them accountable. None of that language in that legislation prevents you from doing that. There's no
Yeah.
reason why you can't have the same attitude as a shop in New York that's closed shop and requires everybody to join, or whatever. There's
It's
no
the
reason you
mentality.
can't act like that. There's
Yeah.
no reason. So be
Yeah.
be the union that you want to be in. You have to be willing
Absolutely.
to stand up for yourself. The company can't ask you to do anything unethical or unsafe. And
Yep.
those words are up to you to define. They aren't up to the company to define. If you think something is unsafe and you've got a supervisor telling you it's perfectly fine, that supervisor doesn't have to do that. You
Yeah.
do. You get to make
Yeah.
that decision.
Yep.
And if they want to say, "Oh, well, we'll write you up for this, we'll fire you for that, or whatever," be like, "Look, I'm telling you right now what's happening. I'm not going to do it." Do not
Yeah.
be afraid of that discipline if you're standing up for yourself. Because if
Yeah.
you've got a BA or an e-board or a president that's worth their salt, they're not going to let anything happen to you for standing up for yourself.
Yeah. Right
And
to work or not.
right to
I
work or
mean,
not.
it's yeah. Yeah. And it's that mentality. You have the choice to, join the union. And if you do, act like it's a closed shop. I don't mean run wild. I mean,
No.
be careful, but be strong. You really, it's a mentality, and that's the problem. We bow down to certain things, and you just, be cautious about it, but be strong
Yeah.
at the same time. It's you have to. I mean, you really have to, and it's just. I think we need more members doing that.
Yeah.
Like I said, being cautious, but being stronger, and and just getting with other people, and doing things the right way, but being stronger, not being just bowing down to the company, doing whatever they want. That's not the way. That's not the way this is supposed to be. It doesn't have to be that way.
No.
You know. So it's. I mean, we all need to be stronger, right? I mean, we all, and that's what we're on here. We're trying to make people stronger. I mean, there's no other way around it,
No.
right? I
People who
mean,
are knowledgeable, they know their rights and they know how to
yeah,
appropriately use those rights are going to be stronger, and you make every one of you that is willing to stand up for your rights and hold this company accountable makes this union that much stronger. Every one of you.
yeah,
And every one of
yeah,
you that does that and shows that to somebody else that you can stand up for your rights, that means they can stand up for theirs. And that gives other people the confidence to know that, hey, this
yep.
guy's got my back. This
You
guy over
empower
here's
them.
got my back. This girl's got my back. Everybody
Hmm.
has each other's back. I don't care
Yeah.
if you're at family, if you're at barbecues with each other every week, or the only time you
Yep.
speak, or the only time you speak each other is when you're walking into the building in the mornings.
Yeah.
That's just it. That's where we've got to be as a union if we're going to push forward and get
Yes.
the contract language that we want and get this and hold this company accountable the way it should be.
Yeah. And we just, we have to take every opportunity. If someone's willing to learn and they need help, you have to be willing to stop, every one of us to stop and say, okay, let's go over this.
Yeah.
It's very important. And I saw this quote today. I posted it. I thought it was great. Fear is a reaction, courage is a decision. I thought that was
Yep.
that was strong. I mean, that's true, right? I mean, no one needs to live in fear,
Nope.
right? You just, and by learning more, I think you get away from, that fear. You have to hit it head on. There's no other way around it. So, this, what we do here, what other stewards do, what BAs do, what executive boards, everyone who puts themselves out there, everything's important. Everyone out there, that what you say means a lot to people. So, go about it the right way and help them, help each other out. It's the only way we're going to get stronger.
Yep.
And that's what we want. We want to see a strong membership. That's it. That's why we do this. There's no other reason. That's the reason. So I'm glad we covered it. Very important. I mean, this is everything we talked about. This is everything. So for myself and Garfield, thank you again for watching. Have a good night.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.